everybody, it's Brian again. I'm just shooting a quick video by request on how I make the duct tape fletchings for my arrows. What I have here is one of my completed arrows. I'm not going to do the entire process here today, and I'm actually only going to be putting on one fletching. And that is because this one right here has a messed up fletching on it, so I'm going to be replacing one of them. So you kind of get a multi-purpose how to replace a messed up fletching and how to install a fletching. But I'll do a quick talk through of the process of how I do this. The first thing you do after you get your dowel shaft and make sure it's straight, and the way I do that is I just take them at the store, throw them on the concrete and roll them. If they roll smooth, it's straight. You check it, double check it, make sure it's straight. Alright, good. I'm going to cut my knock, and I cut my knocks 1/2 inch deep, and then I sand them out until they're just wide enough to where they have a little bit of a grip on the string. You kind of hear a pop when you push it onto the string. Once I get that smoothed out, I kind of taper it down a little bit, round it all off so it doesn't have any rough spots on it to fray the string. And then I measure 3/4 of an inch from the back side, the end of that knock, to where the fletching is going to be. And then I take that and I mark a line all the way around there. That gives me space for my fingers to go in between the bowstring and the fletching. The first time I did it, I made them too short. It didn't work. So, the problem I have with this arrow right here is this fletching is too short. I measured it incorrectly when I cut it, and it is, it's about 1/8 of an inch shorter than the rest of them, which is not a huge deal, but I don't like it, so I'm not going to work with it. Fortunately, this is the last one I put on, so it's on top. So all I really have to do is work that tape loose on the end, and then just strip it off. Toss it off to the side, and I'll throw it away later. Now, when you're making this arrow from scratch, I always put the cock feather on first because it is the easiest one to line the rest of them off of. And what I'll do is I'll just take that knock and I'll line this tape, I'll line the edge of these pieces of tape up with that knock on each side of the shaft, and then fold them up together, press them together, and it makes one arrow. And I'll show you how to do that when I get to the rest, to put this other one on. But that's the first feather I put on, and then I rotate to this one, put it on, and now I'm going to put the last one on, and I'll show you how I do that right now. So, what you're going to have to do is you got to cut 2 5-inch long pieces out of this black duct tape. Now you can use any color you want. Right now I'm using silver and black. I've used yellow, I've used orange, I've used all kind of different crazy colors, just whatever you like. So, stick it on the ruler, measure down 5 inches, and cut it. Peel that off, stick it off to the side because I'm going to need it in just a second. And do it again on the second one. And you try to get these as exactly 5 inches as you can. It just makes them look better. If you're off by, 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, even 1/4 of an inch, it's really not going to end the world. So, now that I've got those pieces cut, what I'm going to do, I'll take this arrow shaft, I'm going to lay this duct tape right along the edge of this other fletching. And I want to make sure that the back side is lined up with the other fletchings. The front end I don't really care about, I'm going to trim it off. But the back end, I'd like it to all match. So I just lay that down. Alright, so I've got it stuck on there. And then I'm just going to kind of smooth it onto the shaft until I've got it to where I want that fletching to be. So if you look at it, you got a fletching here, and I want this one to come off right about there. So that piece of tape's good where it's at. From there, I don't want to stick this directly to this table because this table's not very sticky. So I'm going to stick this to that ruler to kind of give it something to pull it back. Because if you don't do something like that, normally if I'm doing this in my lap, I'll stick it to my pants leg. If you don't do that, when you go to put this other piece of tape on, they'll stick together too soon and you'll end up messing up your fletching. So, stick that up against this other one, smooth it down, and then I'll just smooth it and run it up that shaft until it hits that other piece of duct tape. At that point, all you gotta do, pull it off of that right there, and smooth it out. Double check the ends, make sure that you've got it lined up where you want it, which I do. You see that? They're all evenly spaced out. Alright. Now I've got 5-inch long fletchings, and as far as height goes, I measure 3/4 of an inch in and 3/4 of an inch up. That gives me a 45-degree cut on the back, and it gives me a 3/4 inch high fletching. I've done them 1 inch tall before, but I haven't really found that it helps my accuracy any, and your smaller fletchings are going to fly faster. So it's just a personal preference. I like the 3/4 inches. They've been working out pretty well for me so far. So, having made that mark, 3/4 up, 3/4 over, you just take your scissors and cut like that. Smooth all that down to make sure the tape's stuck together well. Double check it. Make sure all my fletchings are aligned the way I want them. And that's it. From here, what I'll do is I'll cut the shaft to length, and then I'll put my point on it. This one here will probably end up having a broadhead on it. I'm going to have 3, once I finish this set, I'm going to have 3 field points and 2 broadheads. So, on this one here, I just took and put some lines on it just because I like the decoration. It looks neat, and I'll probably do the same on all that so all my arrows match. So, you saw that didn't take very long, and that's with me talking through the process. I can actually do all the fletching work on an arrow in about 10 minutes if I'm not describing the process. I've tried shooting a video earlier where I described the process and made the entire arrow from scratch. It took me too long for me to post it up on YouTube. So, that's this video on this. I'll try to shoot another video maybe later on how to put the point on, but it's pretty simple to do. And I appreciate y'all watching this video, and I will see you on my next one. Thank you. Bye.